Good evening, everyone. I'd like to call the October 6, 2025 regular meeting of the Union County Board of Commissioners to order. At this time, if you're so inclined, please join me for an invocation. Dear Heavenly Father, thank you for this wonderful fall weather that you have given to us, and we thank you, Lord, for your many, many blessings over Union County and everyone that lives and works here, and we just lift up our hands in gratitude to you for all the things that you provide that we may or may not see. We ask for your continued protection and prosperity over Union County, that everything we say and do and provide here for our citizens will glorify you. In your name I pray, amen. If everyone would please stand. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. The next item on the agenda is informal comments from the community. I believe we have one speaker tonight. We will recognize the speaker signed up for informal comments. Each speaker must address the board from the lectern and begin their remarks by giving their name, stating whether they're residents of Union County, and indicating the municipality within which they reside, if any. Each speaker will have 3 minutes to make remarks. A tone will sound at the conclusion of the remarks. A speaker may not yield his or her time to another speaker. Speakers may not discuss matters which are subject of public hearings, and they must be courteous in their language and presentation. Restatements or repetitive comments by the same speaker, whether at the same or separate meetings, may be ruled out of order and terminated by the chair. Personal attacks will not be tolerated. Speakers may leave written comments and supporting documents, if any, with our clerk to the board. Okay, we had one person sign up online, and that will be Melanie Miller.
Good evening. My name is Melanie Miller. I'm a resident of Union County. I live in Waxhaw. Tonight I'm here as the Executive Director of the Union County Community Arts Council. October is National Arts and Humanities Month, and that's a time for us to recognize how the arts strengthen our communities and improve our quality of life. And at the Union County Community Arts Council, our mission is to cultivate and celebrate the arts so that everyone in our community has the opportunity to experience their benefits. And the arts are not something that's just an extra for us to have. The arts really are essential to our local economy and our education system. Across North Carolina, the nonprofit arts and culture sector generates over $2 billion each year in economic activity. That's just in the state of North Carolina. We support, as a sector, 38,000 full-time jobs and return over $439 million in tax revenue to local, state, and federal government. In fact, when you include both the for-profit and the nonprofit arts and culture sector together in North Carolina, we generate over $22 billion in economic activity, and that's greater than both the transportation sector and the utility sector. But right here at home in Union County, the Arts Council, we invest in arts education, bringing professional artists into classrooms. We conduct the largest and longest running student art show in the county, and infuse about $20,000 directly into the hands of UCPS and charter school teachers each year through our Arts in Bloom Educator Grant Program. So this gives thousands of students the opportunity to have additional hands-on creative experiences that build their confidence and critical thinking skills and their collaboration. So research shows that young people who are engaged in the arts are 5 times more likely to graduate from high school and twice as likely to graduate from college. And so these outcomes are ones that benefit every family and every employer here in our county. And creative and arts-related jobs in North Carolina counties are proven to be associated with increased visitor spending, retention and attraction of residents, and rising household incomes. And right here in Union County, you can see arts events that bring people together, whether that's a student art showcase, a veterans art exhibit, a concert in the park. These are the things that really create a pride of place and memories that really strengthen our civic fabric. So as you all continue to make decisions that shape the future of our county, I encourage you to continue to see the arts as not a luxury, but as a powerful investment in economic vitality, education, and well-being. At the Arts Council, we are very grateful for the support of the county. We have been recipients of grant dollars. So many commissioners and staff come out to our programs and support the students in their arts education and the arts activities. So we just wanted to say thank you, and just to let you know, oh, am I getting close? Okay, I thought I saw. I didn't want to go over time. Just wanted to say that we're really proud to partner with you all on all of the municipalities here in the county to just, again, support students and everyone else. There it is. Thank you all so much. Have a good evening.
The next three items on our agenda are public hearings, 2 for proposed rezoning and 1 for a proposed economic development incentive. Before opening the first public hearing, I want to read the rules that will apply to members of the public for all of these public hearings. Each speaker must address, do I have to read this if we don't have any speakers? Okay. It's long. Each speaker must address the board from the lectern and begin their remarks by giving their name, stating whether they are residents of Union County, indicating the municipality within which they reside, if any. Each speaker will have 3 minutes to make their remarks. A tone will sound at the conclusion of their remarks. A speaker may not yield his or her time to another speaker. Speakers shall limit their remarks to the subject of the public hearing. Speakers may leave written comments and/or supporting documents, if any, with the clerk to the board. The first public hearing is item 25-593 for the rezoning petition CZ-2025-007 Rodriguez. I will open the public hearing and recognize Bjorn Hansen, Senior Planner, for comments from county staff.
Evening, Madam Chair, members of the board, Manager Matthews. This is a conditional rezoning, 2025-CZ-007 Rodriguez for the name of the applicant. This is a 2-acre parcel on 601, requesting a rezoning from RA40 to light industrial, and it's limited to office and warehouses. He owns a telecommunications company for installation of fiber optic and other communication infrastructure, and he needs a larger site based on the success of his business. This site plan that I'm about to show went through the site plan review process and can meet our standards, and he's requesting 5-year vesting of his development rights. Site plan is on the west side of 601, so this is southbound, and have an entrance, parking, building, storage, and then the buffering around the perimeter along with the stormwater controls to the back of the site. Existing conditions, it's undeveloped and largely forested. You can see 601 to the north and to the south, multi-lane road, and then across the street, large lot residential. In terms of development status, again, you can see large lot residential surrounding the site. In terms of environmental features, there's a creek to the south, but there's no wetlands, floodplains, or creeks on the site of the property. In terms of zoning, it's all RA40 to the north. You can see the edge of the city of Monroe. In terms of transportation, again, it's on 601, carries approximately 12,000 vehicles per day. There's no funded projects in the vicinity of this proposed rezoning. and no improvements are required as a result of this proposed project. Land use map, it's all purple because it's the employment corridor along 601. This is an overlay over rural residential. So this use is consistent with the land use map. Because it's commercial in nature, UCPS was not consulted and water and sewer are not available to the site. Community meeting was held in late August. One member of the public attended. They had questions about road access. They were a neighbor, so they were concerned that this site would be using their driveway and concerned about impacts on property values. No changes were made based on feedback. Due to the lack of proximity, Monroe was not consulted. In terms of the negatives, you do have continued development along 601. Eventually, that could be considered too much traffic along the corridor. And you have a transition from residential to industrial uses. You're going to have potential conflicts like the one that was expressed by the neighbor as a concern. But the positives are it is consistent with the plan. It can meet our development standards. The use is what the employment corridor overlay was intended for, and it can meet our development standards. So staff recommend approval, and the planning board at its September meeting unanimously recommended approval. And I'm happy to answer any questions that you may have, and the applicant is also present.
Board, do you have any questions for Bjorn? No. Thank you very much. If the applicant wishes to provide comments, they have 15 minutes. Hi.
Hi. Thank you for being here. My name is David Rodriguez. I live in Indian Trail since 2021, 4 years for now. My wife's in here. 2017, we created a News Telecom. It's a company based we are a minority certified company for the state of North Carolina as a Hispanic owner. And we are as well small business enterprise certified for the state of North Carolina. So we provide services in the area of the structured cabling and everything that has to be with network, fiber optics. So from 7 years to now, so the company is growing in terms of clients and employees as well. Last year we get that lot, working with Bjorn to trying to see if that is a good place to open our office. That space gonna be used for office space, indoor storage, and outdoor storage as well. As you know, the fiber optics come big spools. Those spools has to be stored in somewhere, so we're gonna have a secure area to store those spools. Everything that can be damaged for the weather is gonna be inside, and that is that we propose for that lot. If someone has any question.
Does anyone have any questions?
Madam Chair?
Yes.
Just a quick question, Mr. Rodriguez. How many folks does your company currently employ?
We have somewhere 50 plus employees right now.
Okay.
We provide services in North Carolina in state. Sometimes we have to go out of state to use for our folks to go to offer services in other states, South Carolina, Virginia. We got a travel crew over there.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very
Thank
much.
you.
Thank you for being here tonight. And we did not have any speakers that signed up for this public hearing tonight. So I will now close the public hearing. The next public hearing is item 25-595 for rezoning petition CZ-2025-008 Union Power. I will open the public hearing and recognize Bjorn Hansen, Senior Planner, for comments from the county.
Evening again, Madam Chair, members of the board, Manager Matthews. This is 2025-CZ-008 Union Power rezoning, again for the name of the applicant. This is a amended rezoning for the Sheriff's Training Facility on Mills Harris Road, which was rezoned several years ago to RA 200 with conditions. This is amending it to allow the site plan to include a power substation. And that would be on the eastern side of the site that I'll get to in a moment. We have reviewed the site plan, and it can meet our development standards. They're requesting 5-year vesting of their development rights. This is a zoom of the site plan. It is next to the transmission line, which makes sense. And so they would actually not get access from the developed part of the Sheriff's Training Facility. They won't commingle at all, because this is going to have access to the east through an adjacent property where it'll connect down to, I believe, Monroe-Ansonville Road. So existing conditions, again, I did not see fit to walk across the sheriff's facility, even though it's ours, county facility. So I just took pictures from the entrance. You can see the entrance to the sheriff's facility to the north and to the south, 2-lane road, and then across the street, single-family residential. Development status, I circled the portion of the site where the substation would go. You see the power line, very convenient. Shows the proximity. And you can see it's a pretty large property, so this is the portion that's going to be amended as a result of that. Environmental features, there is a stream and floodplain through the center part of the property, but it doesn't affect this. Regardless, they will install stormwater controls as a part of their site plan. Zoning, again, you can see the impact of your decision several years ago. This was zoned to conditional zoning, and the remainder is RA 40 surrounding it. Transportation, Mills Harris carries approximately 1,000 vehicles per day. This is going to have no impact on that because their access will be down this way onto Ansonville Road. And again, that impact is going to be limited essentially to construction and then periodic maintenance of the facility. Land use map recommends rural residential. This use is specifically called out as a special use permit because it's very site specific. So this is a part of that. They have provided all the information to substantiate the special use permit approval, which the planning board agreed with, including a real estate impact report showing no impact to adjacent properties as a result of this use. Again, because it's not residential, the school system was not consulted, and water and sewer are not available to this site. Community meeting was held in late August. Several members of the public attended. They just had questions. They did not oppose the use, particularly access to it, and then what the rezoning would allow, concerns of could a expansion or a new construction demolition landfill go there, for example, because they knew it was county property. And we said, no, that wasn't the case, that we had to comply with the same land planning rules that everyone else did, so they would have to go through this process as well. Because of the lack of proximity, Wingate was not consulted for comments. This area is rural residential, so this use is neither agricultural nor low-density residential as a negative, and it would result in the removal of approximately 2 acres of trees. However, the positives are this area is rural residential, and it doesn't increase density in the area. That doesn't put a stress on schools or the local infrastructure. Major utility facilities are allowed in RA 40 or even RA 200 with a special use permit. They provided all the information to justify the approval of that. It's not going to be visible for the road, and it can meet our development standards. So we recommended approval, and the planning board unanimously recommended approval. So I'm happy to answer any questions, and the development team is also here to answer any questions you may have.
Are there any questions? Yes.
Just one. Bjorn, would you go back maybe 2 slides where it shows the outline of the parcel
This one?
with the
Oh, with the red
tracer
dot?
there. Yeah, no, you're good, right,
Oh, okay.
right there. Can you show me approximately where to be on the parcel?
Right there.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Are there any other questions? I believe you said the planning department is here and can
No,
speak?
no, the development team.
The applicant,
Yes, sir.
okay.
Yes, ma'am.
If they would like to speak, they have up to 15 minutes if there's anything they would like to say.
Good evening. My name is Joe Irvin. I'm with United Grid Solutions. We are the consultant, the engineering consultant for Union Power. Just to kind of enhance what Bjorn said, we spend a lot of time prior to developing a site and finding a site, figuring out where it is, does the least amount of impact. And as you can tell from the site plan, we've kept it off the main roads. We're doing our best to limit the impacts and the tree removals. We're not impacting any of the environmental, specifically the stream that's Jack's Branch that runs through the middle of the property. The other advantage here is, as Bjorn mentioned, is that the existing transmission line and an existing distribution line abut directly to this parcel that we're planning to develop, so there won't be any major tree clearing for lines running in and out. In addition to meeting all the requirements of the UDO, we also are going to be getting a stormwater permit through DEQ Raleigh and a erosion sediment control permit from Mooresville. So we plan on meeting all the regulatory requirements. And again, it's a development that it's needed for the community, and it's kept away from the community as much as we can do it. So, and if they have any questions, and then if it's amenable, and you're all amenable to it, we just as soon have this. If you could all agree to it at this meeting, that'd be great. So,
Thank you for being here.
sure.
Commissioner Balcom.
I may have just missed the point, but how large of an area will it cover?
It's three, just a little over 3 acres, not including the driveway that goes in across the property. But it's all within, the driveway is all within an easement already negotiated with the property owners.
Right, okay.
Are there any other questions? Commissioner Helms.
Thank you, Madam Chair. This may be better directed towards Bjorn, but you're welcome to answer if you know
If
the
I can.
answer. I'm sure that we've checked all the boxes there with the sheriff's office, and that's not going to pose any kind of, problems to any kind of training events or exercises that we have going on there.
Yes, we have worked through the sheriff's office for this, and they are supportive of it.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you again. We did not have anyone sign up to speak on this issue, so I will now close the public hearing. The final public hearing is for item 25-604 for a Step 2 Economic Development Incentive Grant request to Safe Fire Detection Incorporated, also known as Project Smoky. I will open the public hearing and recognize Ron Mail, our Economic Development Director, for brief comments from county staff.
Madam Chair, Commissioners, Manager Matthews, thank you for allowing me to bring before you tonight an Economic Development Incentive Grant request for Safe Fire Detection Incorporated, otherwise referred to as Project Smoky. Safe Fire Detection is a second-generation manufacturer of sophisticated fire detection systems used in nuclear power generation, petrochemical refining, and space exploration, such as the International Space Station. So some pretty neat stuff. The company is headquartered in Indian Trail, where it's been in business for nearly 40 years. They currently employ 25 people, of whom 16 are Union County residents. These employees earn an average annual wage of just under $64,000 a year. Safe Fire Detection's business has grown to such a level where they have simply outgrown the capacity of their current buildings. Their goal is to find a location where they can build a modern, efficient facility that will accommodate their business growth not only for the coming few years, but for the coming decades. To accomplish this goal, Safe Fire Detection is considering 2 parcels here in Union County. One, a 10-acre parcel in Piedmont Innovation Park off of Gold Mine Road, and the second, a 14-acre parcel located in the Monroe Corporate Center. The project's anticipated capital investment is approximately $10 million, which is a combination of the land, a new 40,000 square foot facility, and new production equipment. The project is also expected to retain the current 25 job positions, as well as create 10 new jobs over the coming 3 to 5 years. The company has indicated that incentives are an important factor for the project. Therefore, tonight, we're requesting your consideration of a Step 2 Economic Development Incentive Grant in an amount not to exceed $141,000 paid over 5 years, beginning in fiscal year 2028. The grant will be based upon the Union County Tax Office's appraised value each year on the company's anticipated investment of $10 million, again, in land, building construction, and new production equipment, and also based on the retention of all existing jobs and the creation of 10 new jobs over the grant period. Based on this investment and holding all other factors constant, including depreciation, the company would pay estimated ad valorem taxes on the new taxable investment of $217,000 over the same 5-year grant period. Of course, actual tax revenue to Union County is based on the current tax rate applied to the assessed value each year. Therefore, given the parameters of this opportunity, the Union County Economic Development Department recommends the award of this Step 2 Performance-Based Economic Development Incentive Grant to Safe Fire Detection Incorporated in an amount not to exceed $141,000 to help secure this $10 million investment and its related jobs. At this time, it gives me pleasure to recognize Mr. Scott Robertson, who is Vice President of Engineering at Safe Fire Detection, and his brother Robert Robertson, who is Vice President of Production. So they're available to answer any questions you might have, as well as I. With that, thank you.
Thank you, Ron. Commissioners, any questions for Ron or the applicant? Nope.
All good.
Okay, thank you for being here. Thank you. We did not have anyone sign up for public comments, so I will now close the public hearing. Next on the agenda is item 25-600, Popular Annual Financial Report Award. I want to recognize Beverly Lyles, our Finance Director, concerning this item, and there she is.
Thank you. Good evening, Commissioners and management team. It is my great pleasure to announce that the Government Finance Officers Association has awarded Union County Finance Department the GFOA Award for Outstanding Achievement in Popular Annual Financial Reporting, which we refer to as our PAFR, for the fiscal year ending June 30th, 2024. Most people are probably even wondering what a PAFR is, but it is a very condensed version of our financial and analytical data in a much easier to read published document for non-accounting people and our citizens to get a very high-level overview of the county's financial condition. This award represents a significant achievement by a local government entity, and in order to be eligible for this award, we must first also submit our comprehensive financial report to receive that award as well. Each eligible report has been reviewed by a panel of judges who evaluates the report based on the following categories: reader appeal, understandability, distribution methods, creativity, and other elements. I would like to say a special thanks to all of the county finance staff that provided data for the PAFR. A special thanks, especially I want these two individuals to stand, Abru Kruko, our accounting services supervisor, and Kiera McClendon, an accountant who actually compiled the PAFR for us, as well as a special thanks to the public communications team, Erica Wells Bowden and Brent Ayers, who helped us design and actually publish this document this past year. We greatly appreciate them, and all of our finance staff that is here with us tonight, if you'll please join us to receive the award.
Our next item on the agenda is 25-603, a service award recognition. I will recognize Jennifer Davis. Jennifer, they split pages on me, with Human Resources Assistant Director. I was about to make you a director concerning this item. Thank you for being here.
Of course. Good evening, Commissioners, management team. On Thursday, September 11th, we hosted our Q3 Service Award ceremony where we were to celebrate 33 employees who had met an anniversary milestone. Of those 33 employees, during the ceremony, we celebrated and recognized 10 5-year recipients, 4 10-year recipients, 3 15-year recipients, 2 25-year recipients, and even including our very own Lynn West with 35 years of experience. We are so grateful to be able to host these events for our employees and cherish the stories we hear behind each employee. We hope that you will enjoy a few moments from the event from this short video. Welcome to all of you to our Q3 Service Award ceremony. Today we are celebrating employees who are celebrating a service award for July, August, and September. So we're nearing the end of this quarter. We are celebrating employees who had 5-year, 10-year, 15, 20, 25, and we even have a 35 with us here today. Yeah!
With all her experience in education, Bethany remains humble. She gets along with everyone, offers to help others when possible, works with those that are less experienced to help them achieve more.
He's a cornerstone of our department, and I appreciate everything that he does for us and for the community.
I enjoy my job, and I learned a lot of stuff from these people. We have a great family at Transportation. I enjoy working with supervisors. It means a lot to me. I know people that go from job to job to job, and I found a job that I love, and I just love working with the public.
Congratulations on your 5 years. You did it, and we are very proud of you.
Give me a hug.
I'm very proud and honored to have worked with Jeff and to present you with this award, Jeff. Thank you.
But I think if you had to draw up an ideal employee for Union County that we try to recruit, train, develop, cultivate, and promote, it's Beverly Lyles.
So I started with Union County with a temp agent to begin with when I was right out of high school. I graduated high school a little bit early, so I was 17 when I started that. The finance team at the time, I guess, saw the skill set that I had with crunching numbers and asked me to please come join their team. And since that time, I have held various positions in the finance department, eventually to gain the role as finance director in July 2020. None of that would have been possible without all of the new programs that have been put into place over the past 25 years with the county, such as the tuition reimbursement program. I would have never pursued my master's degree had that not been in place, as well as the service award ceremony, which was not something that they did 25 years ago. So it's really great that this organization has evolved to honor our employees for the great work that they do every day.
Thank you so much for everything you do for the county.
I really appreciate your dedication, and thank you very much, Jeff.
I appreciate you, what you do for our office, the voters of this county, and what you do to uphold the integrity of elections in the state and in our nation. Thank you, Philip.
Thank you.
Jason has been a volunteer fireman for 26 years serving the Matthews area. He has served as the assistant fire chief for the past 15 years. I'm thankful, Jason, for you. I'm thankful that you are on this team. I'm thankful to get to work alongside you. Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much. This has honestly been the best job that I've ever had working for the county. Number one, the backing that you get from all the way up from the manager's office, all the way down to my direct supervisors. The fact that everybody is so involved and so supportive of everything. This county has been nothing but great for myself, for my family. They put me through college. They have given me an opportunity that I normally wouldn't have had in the past because I wouldn't be able to afford to do it. They put me through college and has opened up so many doors for me, and I am so grateful for everything that this county has provided for me.
If you don't know Lynn West, you've been under a rock somewhere. This lady is amazing.
Lynn is kind of a big deal, but she's so unassuming about it. She doesn't portray just how important she is to this organization. She makes you feel like you're part of a family, and that is incredible. It's hard to find an employee with the dedication to work 35 years for an organization.
She is always eager to help. She's a joy to have in the office.
To know that I am now the longest serving, it is very gratifying, and it makes me feel really good that I stuck with it and that I stayed with my job. I had a wonderful mentor when I came to work with the county, and she loved her job, and she gave me that desire to stay with the job.
I heard several words about our employees that impeccable, exceptional, rare. And those are amazing things about our employees here at the county. You guys, you are, what I say this over and over again, you're what make this a great place to work. And so as you go back to your jobs today, just remember that we do really appreciate what you do for the county. Tell your staff that we appreciate them, and just know that we can't do what we do without all your hard work. So I want to say thank you very much and have a great day.
I always get a little worried when Miss Lynn's down there giving me the eye, because I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but tonight I think it's a good thing. So, we love you, Miss Lynn. Thank you for everything you do for us in 35 years. Wow. But we really, really appreciate you, and Beverly. For someone who looks barely 25, I can't believe you celebrated 25 years here. So, but thank you also. we're very blessed to have everyone that was recognized this quarter. Let's see where we are. Okay, the next item is consideration of the agenda and the consent agenda. And before we get started, I do want to make a motion to add an item to business for this evening regarding the Union County budget, FY 25-26 for the Union County Public Schools teacher supplement funding. If there are no objections, I would like to add that to business, and we can put that at the end of the meeting. Are there any other additions or questions about consent or business?
Madam Chair?
Yes.
I would like to make a motion pursuant to Rule 29, since there was no objection stated this evening, but I would like to add two items to business. The first would be 25-593, and that is the rezoning petition CZ 2025-007, Rodriguez. And also, I would like to add 25-595, rezoning petition CZ 2025-008, Union Power to business.
Are there any other additions to business or any questions about consent? Well, then I'll make a motion that, that this agenda is approved as amended. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Very good. We are now at the business portion of the agenda. The first item on business is item 25-605. Consider a Step 2 Economic Development Incentive Grant Request to Safe Fire Detection Incorporated, or Project Smoky. I will recognize Ron Mail from Economic Development, our director, concerning this item.
Thank you, Madam Chair, Commissioners, and Manager Matthews, available for any questions that you might have.
Are there any questions? I do not see any questions. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Madam Chair?
Yes.
I'd like to make a motion that we approve business 25-605 for the Economic Incentive Grant to Fire Safe Detection Incorporated, also known as Project Smoky.
Okay, are there any questions regarding the motion? If not, all those in favor say aye. Aye. Okay, thank you.
Madam Chair, before we move on to the next item, just as a question of clarification, your previous motion to approve the agenda, you were referring to the items on the consent agenda, is that correct?
Consent and business.
You were approving the items on the consent agenda and approving the changes to the business agenda.
Correct. Would you like for me to restate that?
No, ma'am, the clarification will be fine.
Okay, thank you very much. Our next agenda item is 25-550, wastewater pump station approval request for sanctuary at Southgate Phase 2 development. I will recognize our county manager, Brian Matthews, concerning this item.
Thank you very much, Madam Chair. Let's see here. Beginning. So what we have here tonight is a request for the board to consider a possible pump station location. If you will recall, this pump station actually did come before the board. It was a little over 6 months ago. So there was a request that the board heard. a little over 6 months ago. Our rules do allow for a request to come back to the board after that time period. So the applicant did submit that. Nothing has changed as far as the location or any of the specifics as far as the pump station. However, the developer and the applicant did submit some information about possible cost that they would help pay for as far as the long-term maintenance of that. And I'll talk about that in just a minute. So just to talk about this is phase 2 of a two-phase project. This parcel that's in green here is the original phase 1 of Southgate. That did not require a pump station. That was a gravity-fed project. Phase 2, just below that, is here where the star is. That is the location of phase 2. This does require a pump station in order for this to work, or there is an alternative that I'll describe in just a moment, but it still has a pump station improvements that are necessary. So alternative 1, I'm sorry, I go over the details. It is 72 acres for the entire site, and it is within the town of Indian Trail. And again, so that is the phase 2 portion of the development. So alternative 1 for this pump station, what you'll actually see is you would actually create a force main that would actually pump the flow from the site over to our existing force main and pump station, which is the Poplin Pump Station. This is then pumped to 12 Mile Creek Wastewater Treatment Plant, and that's where it's treated. So this is served by the 12 Mile Creek Wastewater Treatment Plant. And regardless of whether alternative 1 or alternative 2, both are served by the 12 Mile Creek Wastewater Treatment Plant. This requires a new pump station, so it is an addition to the pump stations that we currently already have within our inventory, so that would be a new pump station. It would only serve that development, so it's not a pump station that is actually designed to serve a broader area. It is specifically for that development. As you can see, there is a life cycle cost that's been estimated for that. It's a little over $2 million, $2.1 million. And the developer, as I indicated, would be willing to contribute around $900,000 to cover the 20-year maintenance cost for that pump station. We all know that our pump stations generally we have them online longer than 20 years, but that is the estimated 20-year cost maintenance for that pump station. Alternative 2. Whenever we do a pump station analysis, we require the applicant to evaluate what it would take to provide a gravity solution. In this circumstance, there isn't necessarily a 100% gravity solution. The way this would actually have to work is the site would actually flow by gravity. So this red line here is a gravity alternative line that would then connect to an existing pump station called our Porter Ridge Pump Station. That then is pumped ultimately till it gets to a point where it flows to our Fieldstone Pump Station, and then ultimately then pumped to the Poplin Road Pump Station, and then it goes ultimately to 12 Mile Creek and would be treated at 12 Mile Creek. So this isn't, as I said, a gravity solution by itself. It requires improvements to both the Poplin Road Pump Station, the Porter Ridge Pump Station, and to the Fieldstone Pump Station. Those would have to be improved and expanded in order to be able to handle that additional flow for this development. As you can see, it does have a higher life cycle cost, estimated at $3.6 million, in order to provide this gravity / pump station improvement solution. The one thing that this board evaluates, and as well as the staff, is what is the impact to our system. So as you can see, we're having to actually we get gravity line that you would maintain, as well as you would have pump stations that would have to be taken care of as well. Previously, the board had made a decision that you would not approve the actual pump station. I am going to read right now what your alternatives are as far as if you were to make a decision to approve or make a decision to deny. I'm going to go through those with you right now. So if there's a utility-based rationale, there are 3 items that would be considered for approval if the board so chooses to approve this. One is the construction of the requested solution will result in a new pump station. As I said, it's brand new, which should be maintained with less likelihood for the need for major rehabilitation or replacement projects in the near future, whereas a gravity line directly serving the property without a new pump station would require capacity improvements for 2 older pump stations, as I indicated before. And the requested solution requires only 1 new pump station and does not require improvements to multiple existing stations. Number 2, the projected life cycle cost of the new pump stations is costlier. Pump stations are less than the projected lifestyle costs for the alternative solution involving a gravity line and improvements to 2 new existing pump stations. Number 3, the proposed development is ultimately served by the same larger pump station, which is Poplin Pump Station, and treatment plant 12 Mile Creek as a potential alternative. So the treatment and the route do not change. If the board would be so inclined to deny the request, the utility-based rationale, we have 2 items here for that. Number 1, the new pump station solution will require significant investment over time in a pump station as well as future replacements, which primarily serves 1 development. It does not expand the area for that. Without the opportunity for significant revenue from other customer connections, which would assist in offsetting such long-term costs. And number 2, compared to a solution with improvements to 2 additional pump stations, the new pump station solution does not allow for as many improvements that would benefit the entire utility system. So again, if you were to improve the other 2 pump stations, they do ultimately provide some utility to the system. So those are the 2 items which would be considered if the board wanted to deny this request. I'll be happy to answer any questions that you might have. I know that the applicant is here. They have made a request to speak. I did inform them that the board will have to make that decision on whether or not they're allowed to present additional information. Do you have any questions for me on this item?
Does anyone have any questions for the manager? No.
Okay.
Thank you, Brian.
Thank you very much.
Madam Chair?
Yes, Commissioner Helms.
Madam Chair, I'm prepared to make a motion
Okay.
tonight to, 1, deny the application request concerning the sanctuary at Southgate Phase 2 development for a new wastewater pump station, as such pump station solution is set forth in the application associated with the request in accordance with Section 34-336B1 of the Union County Code, and 2, adopt the utility-based rationale statement for denial.
Commissioners, do you have any questions or comments about the motion? Nope. Okay. All those in favor of the motion say aye. Aye. Okay, the next item on the agenda is the matter related to Union County Public Schools and the county budget for FY 25-26 regarding the teacher supplement. I asked for this to be added to the agenda after some information that I received last week following a teacher advisory council. I'll just make this pretty brief, but get everyone up to speed. So the Teacher Advisory Council, it is my understanding, you have central office and representatives or a representative from the superintendent's office or central office, and then one representative from each of the 53 schools at this meeting. So at least 53 teachers, plus or minus, were at this teacher advisory council. And the reason I'm bringing this to the board tonight is because the minutes that were established to go back out to approximately 5,200 employees across the county, the minutes from this teacher advisory committee, the message, along with, 3 other bullets, was that the Union County Public School teachers would not be receiving a $2,000 increase to their county stipend because the county commissioners did not vote and approve it. That was very alarming to me because I did not remember it that way. I remember the county manager explaining back in April at our joint meeting with the Board of Education that I believe, and I don't want to speak for you, but that we had roughly $8 million above the previous year's budget, that's about all we had to give them above and beyond what they had gotten in 24-25. And that a $1,000 budget or a $1,000 increase to the teacher supplement would be just under $4 million. Therefore, if they were to ask for a $2,000 stipend increase, that would absorb all of the extra money we had to provide to Union County Public Schools. And I believe we had that conversation many times that we regret that we did not have enough funds to give the teachers $2,000, but that we intended for them to at least get the $1,000 increase to their county supplement. That's my recollection. I believe the chairman of the Board of Education came before we finalized our budget in June or July, and we explained to them after they, again, their board voted, even after we explained to them that a $2,000 supplement increase would absorb everything extra they were getting for the year, and that they would not be able to do any of the other things on the list of their request, but that our intention was, they could and should do the $1,000, because that would be a $1,000 increase 2 years in a row, and the state had committed kicking in, I believe, $950. So if we kicked in $1,000 and the state was kicking in $950, that would put all the teachers just, almost right at the threshold of almost getting a $2,000 stipend increase, which is back in April. I want to remind everyone that the superintendent and the chair and the Board of Education told us at our joint meeting that their number one priority was for the teachers to get an increase in their stipend, because we had dropped to like 40 or 42 in the state. I can't remember the exact numbers, but that was their number one priority for the budget cycle. So when I saw the minutes from last week blaming the county commissioners or saying that we did not vote to approve for our teachers to get a stipend, I was disheartened, and I wanted to bring that to this board to clarify what your intentions were. I know that I I had spoken towards 1,000, so I just want to open it up to the other commissioners. That this was sent out in formal minutes. I did reach out to Dr. Houlihan, and he said that he would have it corrected, but I don't know if that correction would just go to the corrected minutes for the Teacher Advisory Council, or if they would issue a retraction to all 53 schools. I never heard back what that retraction would be and the error of those minutes. So I'll just turn it over to anyone else that has any questions. Commissioner Helms?
Well, you answered my question. If Dr. Houlihan and/or the board has issued anything, any statement.
I haven't seen it.
I hope that they issue a statement. I'm encouraging them to issue a statement to all employees that are eligible for this bonus and correct the minutes is what I hope he will do. That's the right thing to do. So I would encourage Dr. Houlihan and staff and even the Board of Education to make that public correction.
Any other comments or questions? I will also share that in my conversation with Dr. Houlihan, he said that they were holding on to the money for salaries and a possible stipend increase after the state finalizes their budget. And I just wanted to confirm with this board if you were comfortable with our funds being used for salary increases or teacher supplements that they specifically asked for as their number one priority.
Madam Chair and staff, please correct me if I'm wrong, but when we were discussing the budget, this was one of the main topics was stipends for classroom teachers, the ones that were boots on the ground, that worked with children day in and day out, that this was not going to go to central office staff, supporting staff, but this was for teachers in the classroom. Was that correct?
That's correct. That statement came directly from school staff. Yes,
Okay. And was it Dr. Houlihan's intention to hold that money, because we're not holding that money, obviously, for possibly unfunded mandates that are coming down from the state?
Yeah, so I had a conversation with Dr. Houlihan as well, and I appreciate the chair sharing that. His concern is that without an adopted state budget, there could be unfunded mandates that they then have to then pay for or come to us for us to find those funds. So they've set aside funding for stipend and increases. However, what that amount will or won't be is undetermined at this time because they don't know the impacts of a state budget. So that's what I understand.
Manager Matthews, do we have an ETA on when the state budget's going to be approved?
I do not at this time.
Commissioner Helms?
Thank you, Madam Chair. So just to follow up on something that Commissioner Helms was stating there, so assuming that we did have some kind of unfunded mandate from Raleigh that may affect our partners there with UCPS, I mean, at that point, they would have options, though, correct? I mean, they could go back to this board for a budget amendment. Sure. Or, I mean, there's other things that we could do.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. There are other ways we could look at it. I do think that that obviously he was concerned about coming to the well more and asking for more money.
Sure.
That's my understanding.
Sure. And you know, just to touch on the topic as a whole, I mean, obviously the county's got a lot of needs, and education is a big one. I feel like this board has been committed to supporting our education partners. There's limits, though. There's limits to what this board and government can do. But I do agree that I recall significant conversation regarding increasing the pay, not for administration, not for necessarily principals, but actually teachers in the classrooms. That was an important point of emphasis, not only for the Board of Education, not only for UCPS, but also for this board as well. So,
And I do want to clarify that, you know, between the joint meeting and other conversations, we drilled down many times that this stipend was for classroom teachers only that take attendance and assign grades to a report card. And they agreed that that's what it would be. And again, you know, we told them, you know, if you choose to give a $2,000 supplement increase, then you would not be able to do the other things on your budget request. But that we encouraged them, we wanted them to do the $1,000 supplement increase. So, and I don't think any of us would, I mean, our teachers had to show up back to work with or without the supplement increase. So, you know, just speaking for myself and one vote, and then I'll let the others decide how, you know, how, if they agree or disagree. But if the teachers had to show up and we were all under the assumption they were getting a $1,000 bump to their county supplement, I was, one, shocked that they didn't get it. And then I was shocked that this board was blamed for them not getting it. And so I learned a lot in this process. One, I learned that this board cannot tell the Board of Education or the superintendent how to spend the money. We either approve money, send it to them, or we don't approve it. So that was a lesson to me, because the first thought was, well, why didn't this board do a separate vote and mandate that they give a $1,000 supplement increase to the classroom teachers? But then I was also told we can't tell them to do that. And we have worked really, really hard over the last several years to have a really good working relationship between staff to staff and board to board. And I really have not heard from the Board of Education since they approved to increase the Board of Education's stipend. I haven't heard from them regarding the teacher stipend, but I did hear from them when they were voting to approve a Board of Education stipend, and then the media called. So I think it's important that this board understand that, you know, we can't really call a vote and mandate how they spend the money. But it's also very important that when we approved our budget, we sent them the money in good faith. But in return, they did not give a teacher supplement increase. So we are where we are. My thoughts are, and it looks like you might have an idea, but my thoughts was that now that this message was sent out to 53 schools and maybe 5,200 employees, that the county commissioners did not approve for the teachers to have a supplement increase, is that we asked the county manager and Ms. Lynn West maybe to, and with Jason, our general counsel, to help draft a letter from our board restating that we regret we could not give them $8 million for a $2,000 teacher supplement, but that we had had many conversations that we were giving them enough money to do a $1,000 teacher supplement, and that if they are currently holding that money for supplements and salaries, that we want to clarify that we would like for them to not use money for salaries, but to take care of that $1,000 teacher supplement that we discussed in length. And in an effort to maintain a good working relationship, I would hope that they wouldn't do this again, because these minutes came from someone in the superintendent's office. And so that's my recommendation, is for us to send a letter over to the superintendent and the Board of Education, encouraging them not to hold on to a county supplement, and to give the county supplement to our teachers, our classroom teachers only. And if the state does whatever the state does, then we can ask the state to fund it. We can ask our state legislators to fund it. And they can always come back to us with any unfunded state mandates to let us know what is not being taken care of. Because if there are unfunded state mandates, that's what we're here for. But we approved this, and I think the letter should encourage them. And then I would also like to make the letter public so that every teacher knows that we do not have the authority to vote against their teacher supplement. That's between the superintendent and the Board of Education. And we never told them to withhold that money. We sent them the money. So that's my recommendation as a letter, so I want to open it up to the other commissioners. Okay, do I need to make a motion to, for staff to work on a letter? And I guess I need to find out if the commissioners are okay if I sign it, or if all four commissioners want to sign it.
I think just your statement there indicates that you'd like for that to be a motion, and as to who signs it, that's really a board decision to make.
Would everyone be available to sign it this week if Ms. Lynn has it available? I think it would mean a lot to have all the commissioners' signature, and I will get in touch with Commissioner Sides to see if he's available. But even if it's 4 signatures, we'll move forward with that. When the letter's drafted and ready, I'll let you know so that you can read it, and I'll let you know what Commissioner Sides is able to do. So that's the motion.
Yep. So therefore, the motion on the table is the letter as described, as well as signatures of all available board members.
Correct. Okay, are there any questions? No. All those in favor say aye. 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 Thank you. Okay, that brings us, I'm going to start with the public hearing for CZ-2025-007. I had to say that. Submitted by Mr. David Rodriguez.
Madam Chair?
Yes.
I'd like to make a motion that we approve the rezoning for petition CZ 2025-007 for David Rodriguez.
Okay, any questions? All those in favor?
Madam Commissioner, there's a motion of,
Oh, yeah.
If you look
Just
there,
read.
I think you're making a motion to approve, and therefore there's a motion listed right under
Okay,
that.
Thank you. The adoption for the ordinance approving revision of the official zoning map of Union County, North Carolina, adoption consistency and reasonableness statement for approval.
Okay, any questions?
You good with that? Okay.
All those in favor of the motion say aye. 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 Very good. Next will be the public hearing for the zoning map CZ-2025-008 submitted by Union Electric Membership Corporation or Union Power. Yes.
Can I ask one more question before we move forward?
On the Rodriguez?
No, ma'am.
Oh, okay, yes, Union Power.
Okay, and
Yes.
it may be, we need Bjorn to answer this question. All right, in the agenda packet, it says this case is requesting to rezone one parcel totaling 161.1 acres.
That's correct.
And the substation sits on a footprint of about 3 acres.
That's right.
Are we rezoning the whole parcel for that 3 acres?
Yes.
Let me make sure this is a conditional zoning application, and so there is already an existing conditional zoning on the entire 161 acres. Because we are amending that, you have to amend it for the entire 161 acres. Even though you're only doing work on 3 acres of it, it still applies to the whole 161 acres. So it's an amendment to the original zoning, which was 461 acres, but it's a 3-acre portion within that. So it's not that we're expanding that a substation can be 161 acres. It's just that we're adding that language to allow that substation within the original permit.
So within this action, we're only changing what can be done on that 3-acre parcel?
That's correct. Yes, sir.
All right, okay.
Good question.
Madam Chair.
Yes, Commissioner Helms.
Thank you, Madam Chair. And again, just to clarify, we're having to do that because it's one parcel.
That's correct.
Yeah, no matter the size, we're
Yes.
still dealing with one parcel.
Yeah, that 3 acres is not its own individual parcel at this point in time.
Okay, Commissioner Helms.
Thank you, Madam Chair. So I'd like to make the motion to approve the proposed amendment. So the motion would be to adopt the ordinance approving revision to the official zoning map of Union County, North Carolina, and 2, adopt the consistency and reasonableness statement for approval for CZ 2025-008 Union Power.
Any questions? All those in favor of the motion say aye. 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 Okay. This brings us to the conclusion of the business agenda as amended. I will now recognize the county manager for comments. I'm going to start at this end tonight. Commissioner Brian Helms, do you have any commissioner comments?
Thank you, Madam Chair. So just a couple of comments. Obviously, Commissioner Sides is not with us tonight. Wishing nothing but the best for Commissioner Sides. Hopefully he can rejoin us again pretty soon here. You guys may have seen the news out of Southport where there was a shooting. Just want to offer my condolences to all the victims, family members, anyone affected by that tragedy. Thank you to the one speaker that we had tonight. I thought that she did a great job in bringing awareness there in regards to arts here in the county. And obviously to all of you for being here and sticking with us through this meeting. So we certainly appreciate the engagement. And for Beverly, you're going to have to start telling people that you started when you were like 10. So thank you all. Have a good night.
Commissioner Christina Helms.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Congratulations to Mrs. Lyles and her staff for winning yet another prestigious award. You're setting the bar really high. And also, congratulations again to Beverly and Miss Lynn and Philip from the Board of Elections for so many wonderful years of service. And by the comments that the employees make, it really shows what great leadership we have in the county. And having so many complete so many years, it really does show what a great place Union County is to work. So thank you all for all your dedication and service.
Commissioner Balcom.
Just like to reiterate what the other commissioners said and wish everyone a good night.
Yep. And same here. We have amazing people that work for the organization. Beverly, thank you and your team. Kudos for doing such a great job and being recognized with yet another award tonight. And I'm very proud of you and thank you for everything that you and your team do to keep us afloat. And Miss Lynn, again, extremely proud to work alongside you and be on this team and have you making sure that we have all of our T's crossed and our I's dotted. So thank you for everything you do for this board. Much appreciated. 35 years, still can't believe it. So with that, I will make a motion to adjourn. Okay, all those in favor say aye. Aye. Okay, good night.